Ciao ragazzi, welcome to the Sal-E-Boy podcast network. We're here. We are now changing to another location. We are now trying out the kitchen table. So we've done the swanky room, which is kind of like our bar room. Then we've done the green room, is what we call it, but really that's just like the living room. Then we've done outside a couple times, and now we are officially trying out the kitchen. The kitchen,
which is where we spend most of our time. So it's very fitting.
Well, it looks like the clouds came in.
Yeah,
there's no more sun in our eyes.
We were
it's not up there.
We were trying to do it outside. It got a little bit too hot, so we're like, let's move it inside. And one thing I'm thinking of now that we're recording this room does have quite a bit of echo. So if there's echo in the podcast, we are sorry. But we're just going to power through and battle a little bit of adversity. So we're here. We have Andre, Michelle, Sal, myself, and Kyla. We can't get any new hosts on the podcast. We should try to switch it up a little bit. We got to get Luch on. So if you guys have
one of these days, ask for Luch.
Yeah, just his Twitter, or he doesn't have a Twitter, he has an Instagram account. Find him, DM him, at him, whatever you gotta do. Get Luch on the podcast.
Or just DM the Instagram.
Yeah, what's his name on Instagram? Luch44?
Yeah, something
Maybe,
like that.
Luch44.
But if you do message us, we could show him and be like, dude, see, everybody wants you.
L-U-C-C, Luch44, I believe.
So last week we kind of BS majority of the time.
We're good at that.
It turned out pretty good. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast, stop right now, go back, Sunday Conversation, I believe it was 6. Listen to that one and then come back and visit us on number 7. So to start this one off, I would like to say my dad told me he had a funny dream last night. I haven't heard this yet, but I'm interested. I waited to the podcast all day. So let's hear this dream.
I hope it's
Oh
funny.
my god.
No pressure.
No, I mean, yeah, it's a bad dream. It wasn't that good, but I had a dream that mom left me. And I woke up pissed
He
off.
was so mad at me.
Oh my
I actually woke her up. And I went,
I'm so mad.
what the hell? Was it like 5 in the morning? And I woke her up. I said, what the hell? What's wrong with you? After 40 years? She's like, what? I says, what are you thinking about, leaving me?
Oh my god.
And then she had an early appointment today, so she got up. I went back to sleep, and I dreamt more about the same thing. The dream didn't go away. It came back again.
So he tells me as he's hugging me, he's like, I dreamt that you left me, and you said you always loved him. I was like, what does that mean? I always loved him. So apparently, I left him for an old boyfriend, which I'm thinking, what is that, from the 6th grade?
I know, I was gonna say, yeah. If you guys have listened to the podcast, they've been dating since they're like 15.
She was
so.
14, 15,
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
but that was the start of the
It wasn't
day.
that funny, but it was weird that he carried over the anger.
I got mad at you.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is not the first time.
Yeah.
This has happened before.
Usually the wife or the female in the relationship is the one that gets mad at the male about those types of dreams.
I was pissed off for half a day. I was mad.
But then I saw you guys earlier, you were really nice to her. So maybe
Yeah.
you're
I was like, yeah, I better be nice.
Yeah, because Tony Frangipan is waiting in the green.
Well,
That's a fake
funny.
name, I promise.
That is funny. Usually,
Japan.
That is a real person. I dated him in the 7th grade.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you're listening to this,
Yeah.
give it a shout.
Maybe for 3 days.
Where are we at? I'm trying to think where we left off last week. So we talked about making sandwiches, having too much of a menu. You went to New York, you saw how everybody is so simple, and then you came back and you kind of changed. I wouldn't say you changed your business model, but you descaled everything.
Yeah, simplified.
And just simplified it.
Yep.
That's good. So we've heard stories about Geneva being born. We've heard stories about Luch being born, but we haven't heard these stories. You were saying that we weren't born on a Friday night.
You guys were not born on a Friday night.
Yeah, so we
So
start
that's
off,
not really a funny story.
So you
no.
guys have been good since you were born.
so we're way since we came in, we've been way easier.
So I was satisfied. I had a girl and a boy. We were done. We were done. We had our family and we were done. And then one night, I don't know if we drank too much or what happened, but we started having a really deep conversation about family and legacy and what if Geneva doesn't like Carlos' girlfriend or wife, which is a good possibility. And
No.
let me take that back. I'm just saying at the time.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, she's, you know, she didn't like a lot of
It's a
people.
pain in the ass.
She loves Azure. Mention that. But
The guys raise a favorite.
But this was when they were little babies. I was having this
But anyway, Mom said I want to have not one, I want to have 2 more kids.
2 more babies. I woke up in the morning and I told him that. I
And
said,
then she had to go to her grandpa's funeral in Brooklyn. She left me this love letter saying when I come back, we're gonna make 2 babies. I still have 2 babies, not 1, 2.
yep, and 9
So
months
you didn't
later,
want
you were born.
You didn't want 3 kids. You didn't believe in odd numbers.
No, I don't know if it was a premonition or whatever it was.
But
I
she
knew
wanted to have 2 babies.
I had to have 2, and I wanted to be done when I was 30.
They're not Irish twins, are they?
No,
two.
no,
No,
they're
we're
23
two.
months, yeah,
Right.
23
What's Irish
months.
twins?
Same
12
year.
months, yeah, same. So, I don't know where I just was, but,
So we had 2 more kids.
right, and you were born 9 months after my
That when you
grandfather's
left.
funeral, yeah.
Your birth was uneventful, okay? Besides the fact that your godmother was there with a camera taking pictures of
Everything. I had to throw all the pictures out because, it
like
was
the whole
terrible.
thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then his birth was just the name. Because
No.
I wanted to name him,
His birth was, we had a house full of people here.
Yeah.
This is when we had the pool.
yeah, we had
Okay?
a lot of people.
A lot of people. It was June. My mother's birthday is.
She went into labor.
Wait a minute. It's a funny story because I went to my mother's house.
Oh, you fell on the hammock.
I fell off.
That's
Fell off the
Right,
hammock.
went to your mother's birthday.
And the hammock,
The hammock
dry rotted.
blew up,
And
and she fell
I
on the
fell.
hammock.
And you were how many months pregnant?
Ready to
I was 3.5 weeks early.
Okay,
He doesn't
well.
pay attention. That's early. He
Three-
wasn't
yeah,
due to the
that's why I'm
21st.
so short.
Yeah. And then she went into labor.
I went
She
into
fell.
labor.
That's
So
The
right.
Andre
next
was
day.
born a month earlier because
3.5,
you
yeah.
think because you fell. Well,
Yeah.
No, I know. I was fell and the next morning in labor.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
I was here at the house and his cousin's mother-in-law was here
Yeah.
and they were at the house and she's like, you. She had 10 kids. This lady, 10 kids.
10?
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I should go. She's like, just wait. When you sweat, when you have a contraction,
yeah.
and you sweat,
Then you
that's
go.
when it's time to go.
Tina.
And-
Tina Niccolo.
So I was going about my day, and then all of a sudden, I had a
Started
contraction, and whoop, I was sweating. I'm like, time to
It's
go.
time.
And he was born 45 minutes later.
Whoa.
Oh my
Yeah, so
gosh.
fast. So Geneva was 23 hours. He was 45 minutes.
Wow.
Dang.
And he had a knot in his umbilical cord, so when he dropped down, it's tied the knot like this.
So he
it was
was-
looped. So he lost oxygen. So good thing he was the 4th kid because he flew right out.
Yeah.
He
I don't know
flew.
if that's a bird or
Had he
a bird.
not, he had
I didn't
well,
fly right out.
well,
The doctor said to me,
push.
no.
And he came
he
right
said,
out. I was there.
He said, you
She
gotta
was
get,
there too.
Yeah, we gotta get this
you
baby.
gotta get this baby out right
Right now,
now.
and-
That's what he said, and
and
that's what
boom,
I did.
it went out.
I was a good mother.
Because he was no more
Wasn't he
oxygen.
flew out. I
There
just
was no
worked
more
hard.
oxygen. No more oxygen, so it would have been bad. But.
Oh my god.
Right, but he
And then he was going to be named after all 4 grandmas if he was a girl.
So what are the 4 grandmas?
Wait, so we went into the labor and they said, do we know what the baby's gonna be? And we said, no, we don't find out. So she's like, well, do you have names picked out? And I said, well, it's a touchy subject because he wanted to name the babies after all of our great grandmothers. So
Combine the
yes,
names.
all 4 names.
Our grandmothers, their great grandmothers.
Your grandmothers.
Our
Our
grandmothers.
grandmothers, your
So
great
can you
grandmother.
give us the names?
So
Don't let the-
Felicia,
Okay, that's one of them.
Philomena,
Philomena.
those are my 2 grandmothers.
Okay.
Camilla
Camilla.
and Sebastiana,
Anna.
but we call her Anna. Sebastiana.
So the name was gonna
Wow,
be,
what a name.
are you ready?
If it's a girl.
Ready? Feliciana Carmelina.
That's all 4 morphed together. Feliciana Carmelina. That's a nice name.
You did a good job with Geneva.
That's a beautiful name. Are you
You
kidding?
did it out of the park with
Feliciana
Geneva.
and Carmelina. I mean, come on.
Okay, so
Yeah,
anyway,
you should
so
explain.
Yeah. After this,
Yeah.
after this, go
so
ahead.
I said,
If
all
it's
right,
a girl.
it's Feliciana Carmelina, and she says, and if it's a boy, I said it'll be Andre. She says, let's hope for an Andre.
And that's what they said when he was born. Oh, we have an Andre. They would ask it to me with Dr. Comedina, because Dr. Comedina said something different to me for every kid. But I remember you have a son.
No, first
and you have Andre.
No, you have a girl.
Okay, I have a girl for Jim.
You have a son for Carlo.
Of course, I don't remember his.
It's a boy. It's a boy.
That was a boy.
And we have Andre.
Okay, we have Andre.
Those are the, you don't forget it because everybody finds out these babies ahead of time
right, you're such a middle child. I don't remember anything.
I'm uneventful. I like it. I'm under the radar. I'll keep it.
But I'm not a big believer in the whole finding out what the baby is because that moment when you meet the baby for the first time.
But hopefully we have a granddaughter.
That's true.
I don't want to find out.
Oh yeah,
it's
well, not that we're announcing any pregnancies here.
I mean, when it happens.
Yeah, when it happens, but it is the most amazing moment.
My parents didn't find out.
Yeah,
either.
it's amazing.
Yeah, that is cool.
Now Candace is not finding out. She's
waiting.
on the old, like it's
Now
new trend is the old trend.
But I like morphin names. We did that with Geneva.
Yeah, so Andre, go ahead and explain Geneva's name.
Okay. It's just our two grandmothers, Jenny and Eva, put together, Geneva.
With a J.
Spelled with a
With
J.
a J, so you hit it out of the park on that one.
That was brilliant.
And
Luciana Cavalina was the reach.
No, I don't know. I mean, come on. That's so. Everybody's going with these.
Feliciana would have been pretty cool, but and then Camelina would have been the middle name.
So nobody would have heard it.
So no one would have.
Carmelina is like a nickname for Camilla anyway. It's like saying Carluccio.
It's very
I mean,
Italian.
yeah.
You would have been a very Italian.
I know, I've been a very Italian girl.
we did everything very traditional.
Were we born while you were like, so 45 minutes he was out? Did you have to leave work or by that
Oh,
time?
he met, you came and took me.
96, yeah. I was already.
But then he was used to having babies.
I had employees.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
He knew they were on deck. He didn't have to go make dough because forget it.
Yeah.
I would have been.
Yeah. We had
On my own.
a lot of employees by that time.
So Geneva is the two grandmothers, Jenny and Eva, and then Carlo is named after his father. Carlo.
Right.
And we call him Luch because Carlo just seemed like such an old name for a little baby. I just couldn't call him Carlo. So we used to, Carluccio means little Carlo.
Carlo, little baby with a mustache.
That's what I heard.
Chicky.
That's a barber.
Yeah. So Carluccio turned into Luch. Everybody calls him Luch.
Luch, everybody calls
And
him.
then you're named after my father, Michael. And then Andre's named after my stepfather, Andre.
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah.
And he
So I
went-
really wanted to put Andrea.
but
I want his birth
Go for
certificate.
it,
I want
yeah.
to put his, I want.
I just didn't want him to be like every
Because-
first day of school. They didn't know
Yeah,
it's a
so
girl
I
or a
call him
boy.
Andrea a lot, but
Because that's what you wanted
It's
to
Brett
be.
Babcock.
Oh,
I might do a name change.
Andrea. Yeah, Andrea.
Well, now I do agree with Mom. I would have.
You would have been, yeah, it would have been bad.
Would've been
But your name is really Andrea.
I'll call you Andrea now.
Yeah.
From now on. On the podcast, Andrea.
Andrea Zango.
That's way better.
That's a good segue. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've come out with two Mike's Mike. I'm not the only one that's hogging this platform. All my siblings have their own show. They just haven't been able to produce theirs yet. So Andre is coming up with an idea for his Andrea's Angle.
Yeah.
We have Luch Live, and then my sister, she's tweaking with the name, but she's probably gonna come out with one pretty soon. So this is good that we're getting this out here. But hers is probably gonna be the best one.
It's called something right now. It's got
It was a
name.
talking shop, but I think she's gonna change it a little bit. But she's gonna get small business owners, influential people in the community, and talk to them, and it's gonna
Like
be really
legal
insightful.
advice, legal business
She'll
stuff. Yeah.
tweak that in, but hers is gonna be really good. She's gonna get some really powerful people on the pod.
Lawyer stuff.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to get hers to launch. So great segue, Mom.
Oh, thank you.
We're getting pretty good at this podcast stuff. So I'm gonna try to do an unnatural segue. So you talked about '96. You had some employees. It was a lot easier for you. When did you start cutting back? One of the stories you said is how you had tons of cars for what is it called?
Take
Delivery.
Delivery.
So
Yeah.
one time we had 15 cars lined up in the back. We had all sorts of deliveries, hundreds a night. But
This was
then,
peak. This is like mid '90s. You were
Mid-90s,
booming. Like you were the.
Then they mandated that. Well, they decided that delivering pizza was a hazardous occupation.
So you couldn't do
So I
it.
could
You're
no
driving.
longer hire high school kids.
You have to be
deliver
18 or
pizza.
over because it's a hazardous job.
But, so hence the word delivery boy out the window. Out the window because they said, nah, you know, it's dangerous, it's this, it's that.
Which it could be. I mean, but
Well,
it,
I
driving
get it,
to
I
work
get
is
it.
just as dangerous.
Yeah.
Certain companies had this time that they
Right.
wanted. I don't want to say names, but they mandated
The big,
like
the big
they were gonna get it there in 30
franchises
minutes.
guaranteed
Uh,
30-minute
So
delivery.
I
A lot of
think-
there was tons of accidents.
I think that's what happened because they were trying so hard to get
Right.
it there on
Right.
time. So it was after that happened, then the.
I had a guarantee too, same day guarantee. You order while we're open, you'll get it delivered before we close. I guarantee same day delivery. I'm better than Federal Express.
Before
better than
Amazon,
FedEx.
before
I'm
Amazon.
better than Amazon, better than FedEx. FedEx is 2 day, I'm 1 day.
Oh my gosh,
But-
that would have been a great sign.
But then what happened was, yeah, I should have did that on one of the promotions. I used to like to do that. But so then I had to hire 18-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It became hard because we don't have a university, so there's really no pool to draw from. You know
Right.
what
We
I
have a
mean?
university in Albuquerque, but not
In
here.
Albuquerque, but it's 20 miles away, so it became more and more difficult. And then you know, the insurance factor with the delivery and accidents, litigation, and one day I just said, you know, I don't want to deliver pizzas anymore, and that's when I scaled back the business.
Okay.
And that's where the sign came in.
Got no
Famous.
Got no
delivery.
delivery,
Yeah.
because if you notice, it's a neon sign.
Yeah,
It
it's
says-
inside the
It says
window.
pizza and fast delivery, or
Yes.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Just say fast delivery.
Fast delivery, so you put the thing right
Right
over the
over it.
delivery.
Got no,
Like
got
a
no
like a
delivery.
band-aid.
Yeah.
Like a band-aid. Just
Band-Aid.
patch it up, got no delivery.
But you know, I spent most of my time faxing proof of insurance to California for the non-owned auto insurance. Because everybody pays monthly, right? So every month, expired insurance, this one can't drive, that one can't drive, and I spent
man.
half the day
Managing that.
dealing with who
Yeah.
could drive and who can't drive, you know? And I was like, forget this. That's when I scaled way back. And we did okay for a while, you know? We almost
Strictly
did just as-
takeout, strictly
and
takeout.
we did just as well with 7, 8 employees as we did with 28
All those people
employees,
driving.
28, 30 employees. you know?
That must have been hard to transition from
Yeah.
when people call like, hey, like deliver or whatever,
For
and
many,
then
many years.
you have to tell them like, hey, we're not doing this anymore.
For many, many, many years, you know?
Yeah. So you had it was like almost like a rebrand of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's when is that when you kind of remodeled the building a little bit?
No,
No.
it was already set.
If you guys haven't been there, well, it's closed now. But it's closed now. But when it first, like towards the end, it was tons of pictures. We had like, I mean, you had each child, you
You had
had
their own
Yeah.
section.
and each section, millions of pictures of each kid, and it
Each
was
kid had all 4 of you had a wall of fame.
Geneva had the most pictures.
No,
No.
Luch has the most.
I think you guys have the same amount.
Luch
I
is the
think
best.
Luch
Luch is the most successful.
And then there was a
football
bunch of
player.
New York pictures and a bunch of sponsorship pictures.
Yeah, because you always sponsor
Yeah, I tried
Yaffle
to.
games.
Yeah, I tried
right?
to sponsor, you know.
Yeah.
In the end, it was doing mostly the high schools and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So, what was one of the reasons why you would sponsor those events or those? I mean, the high school teams and all that. Because you did Rio Rancho for the longest time, and then you did Cleveland for the longest time.
And then he still did. He still did.
Yeah.
really
You
So
still
well.
do it, even when
There's
you're-
a backstory to it, okay? Your sister, when we went to middle school, she wasn't a bad kid, she wasn't a good kid, but she had no direction, okay? She had a couple friends, and I really didn't like what she was doing. Well, your brother was playing Yaffle football, Little League football, okay? Mom was the cheer coach. She had the little babies. They were going to competition. One of the babies on her team had an older sister who was a varsity cheerleader at Rio Rancho High School. She
Her name
came,
was Sarah.
and she came to critique the
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 performance.
little ones at the high school.
She came-
She's a
she
high
was
school.
a high
Her
school.
little sister.
Her little sister was on the
so
team.
they bet they
So
So
loved
she
her.
came to critique the
Pointers.
performance for the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And Geneva was with Mom. Geneva would tag along and hang out. And Geneva was going to be a freshman in high school that year.
Yeah,
And
so it
this
was
girl-
that summer between 8th and 9th grade,
And
right?
this girl turned to your sister and said, "What, you're going to go to Rio Rancho? Why don't you try out to be a cheerleader?
Like, she's like, we're having a second
We're
trial.
having a second trial, we need cheerleaders."
Wow.
And your sister tried out and changed her life.
Yeah.
I believe it changed her life.
I agree.
She dropped 40 pounds, her self-esteem went through the roof, Her confidence went through the roof. She became the president of one of the academies, Woman of Wonder, AIDS Foundation, Republican Party. She got 2 Christmas cards.
No
She
way.
got the real card from the fake card from President Bush and the real card. She actually would make phone calls.
Wow.
By trying to buy
when
votes.
When she used to be a Republican.
Yeah. And
What?
so that's when I really became passionate about high school athletics. I realized how important it is for some kids. You know, not everyone, you know what I mean? But everybody has to find something.
Especially in the big school.
Right.
You know,
We're a big
our
school
schools
like
here
that,
have
yeah.
2,500 kids.
And I
in
believe
them.
everybody has to find something. And our avenue, really, for our family, has been athletics. They helped me raise you guys. You know what I mean? Our school system in Rio Rancho helped me raise you guys. So that's why I always
You want
tried
to
to
give
do
back.
the
Give
best I
back.
could. Not just for you,
But yeah,
for
yeah.
all the athletes.
Like
you
we
know what I
said,
mean?
even though we stopped playing, you've been doing it ever since. We've
Yeah.
been out of high school for a
Well,
long time.
Yeah.
Even when we were in Area Rancho, Dad always had us band in there.
That's true. Yeah, you always supported both
I
schools.
tried. I
It's
tried
really
to,
important.
you know?
We feel like it's really important for
Yeah.
kids to have extracurricular activities that keep
I
them.
mean, I have a joke. I don't know if it's appropriate.
No, don't say that. I don't like that
I don't know.
joke. No. You're not allowed to say that
Well,
joke.
He
come
has-
on.
He's gonna say it. He's
No.
gonna say it.
I'm gonna edit it out
Don't
anyway.
say it. He has given a lot to both schools. Let's just leave it at that. The end.
I got one arm in one school and one arm in the other school. My left arm is under the arm, my right arm is under the
Oh
under
my
the seat
God.
in the stadium.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
And if you don't know, then you haven't talked to him at all.
So I remember it would be. I mean, I loved it. Thinking back, it's awesome to have your dad sponsor the games and all stuff. But when you're playing, you get a lot of hard times because every time you make a tackle, they say, "Oh, Michael Rossi makes a tackle," and then they'll be like, "And this game is sponsored by Sal-E-Boy Pizzeria." And like people are like, "Is that why you're playing? Because your
Yeah.
Is
dad?"
that why you made the tackle? Because your dad's sponsoring the game?
That happened one time. Somebody was. It's a funny. Well, it was a cool story for us. We were somewhere.
Somebody, we were at Cleveland High School and they were warming up and your brother's kind of.
So we heard this story from someone else.
I
who
heard it
was
from
in-
the athletic director.
in
He
the
was up
press
there
box.
and he had a visitor from down south who's also an athletic director. And he said, "Who's that number 3 out there? That has to be political."
Oh wow!
Who's that number
Who's
3?
that kid's
That's
dad?
got to be political. He's warming
That
up,
goes
right?
all the way back to the hammock. I'm like,
And then the athletic director, Randy, said, "Yeah, wait till kickoff and then tell me that."
Wow.
Wait till kickoff happens and then you tell me if that's political.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Anj.
Yeah.
Or Andrea. Good
You
job.
never heard that story?
no.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Wow.
So yeah, the pizzeria was full of photos. Like even like Cibola Little League, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. It was really cool to be there.
He even had
On
a.
the take
What do you
out.
call that kind of car that is made of wood and people push it down the hill? Go kart.
Oh, the
Soapbox.
Soapbox. Yeah, he had a car. There was a soapbox with Sal-E-Boys written on it.
I did. That was
The
sick.
race car. I don't know where that is. I hope that picture's still up there.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Out of the
cool.
race car.
Okay, so we talked about the dream. We talked about our stories. You were eventful. I was uneventful.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds
typical
right.
little child.
The cutest
Typical.
thing about him being born is we came home from the hospital.
Oh,
telling
yeah,
us-
yeah. And my office was a family room at one time. And Mom walked in the door, and Luch was playing with guys
Cards
on
on
the
the
floor,
floor.
cars and guys. And he looked up, and Mom said, "You have a baby brother." He's like, "Oh, put him down. Let me play with him. Put him in. Let me play with him."
So
And now he won't even join us on the podcast. All right, so we have about 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. Yeah, last week, the best part of the podcast is talking about the Marinata pizza in Australia. Dad, I gotta show you this clip. It's hilarious. But I want to talk about pizza around the world because I was thinking I've never been to Australia. I don't know how the pizza is there. Basically, the only one I've never really tried was in America, Chicago style. What's your review on Chicago style? You like it?
So I think Chicago pizza is like eating cake.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like very.
But it's like, listen,
It's
it's
a
not
thing.
bad.
You
It's
know
not
what
bad.
he said about pizza. That's
Yeah,
on the previous
It's
episode.
not bad,
So it's not
but it's
bad.
like eating cake. It's a big, fat, stuffed.
Oh.
pizza with all kinds of stuff in it, and
It takes like an hour to get, right?
yeah, you have to order like
order.
45
Oh,
minutes
wow.
to an hour.
Because
Because all the
it's a
toppings are inside, and then it's laid, it goes
It's
in
like
it.
a quiche,
So,
like a,
yeah.
what would you, like a pizza rustica?
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Well, that's gonna help people know that.
So, it's a
anyway,
pizza rustica.
Like
What
a
was
cake,
that?
it's a
So
cake.
we went to Chicago. We went to Chicago. Well, we went to see the Mets play, and we ate every single famous
Famous
pizzeria.
pizza.
Oh,
and we also
There's
ate
4 of them. And we went to all
special,
4
don't they
of
get
them.
the sausages now? What else do they have that's famous?
They
there?
had
Italian
the
beef.
Patillos,
Oh, yes.
Italian beef,
We
the
ate the whole way
sausage,
through
yeah.
Chicago.
So
That's
everywhere
not
we go, we
surprising at
eat
all.
pizza all the time.
Yeah,
you know?
that's- yeah.
So like Chicago, we ate pizza 4 out of the 5 days we were there.
Everywhere
Every
we
day.
go, we have. Every time
I'm
we
on
go
a
out
cruise
to eat.
ship, I eat pizza every night on a cruise ship.
How's the pizza there?
They've come a long way. It's very good.
Oh, the
It
last
used to be so, it used to always be
Yeah,
good, but
like-
now it's really good. They
we
do a
went
good
to
job.
the last cruise we went on was the Royal Caribbean.
They
and
use
have-
00 flour
they have
from
a
Italy,
cute
from
little-
Naples,
Yeah.
and yeah, they have a
They
nice
have a little
oven.
pizzeria there, and then they have like cute little
Yeah.
aperitivo, olives, and
Yeah.
We went to
stuff.
we went to the sawmill last week, and I told Kyla before you guys got there, I will bet $1,000 that my dad orders a pizza while he's here.
Yeah, with
'Cause
all the
you
other
just-
choices.
You like to you want to try it, you
Yeah.
know, and then you always offer a slice to everybody.
He loves pizza. He loves
She
it.
gets pissed off at me. We were at Manhattan Beach. Remember, we were walking. It was a nice little pizzeria.
That's
So
right.
I dipped in for a slice of pizza.
And then we
Come
couldn't
out, I said,
find him
Do you
anywhere.
really need that? Do you really need that? Yeah, I need that. I like that. Do you really need that? It was a nice pizza. I'm not bothering you.
I'm trying to take care of you.
I want-
Well, you know, my cholesterol's perfect. I should eat pizza every day.
I want to get it to the listeners. Like, it's not a joke. Everywhere we go,
Yeah.
there's a pizza. One of my favorite stories, and I'll close with this. I hope it's funny. But we were in Rome, and we went to the Colosseum.
Oh my god. I don't know if that's funny, but maybe it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. Maybe it's funny now.
That's vacations. What was stressful during the time ends up being funnier
I
5
guess.
years later. So we're in Rome, and we have to get from this side of Rome at the Colosseum all the way to the opposite side of Rome to go see the Vatican, I think, and they're not very close.
Oh, that was the same day?
Yeah, I believe the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did all that in the same day.
Yeah, it was and we walked. I don't know why we walked, but we walked. And so
Tortured.
we go see the Colosseum, and we're like, all right, we gotta get to the next place. And some people were hungry, and so we're like, okay, let's just grab they have like street food and stuff like that. We were
Yeah.
gonna eat and walk.
Like a lot
Yeah.
of street food.
They have
everywhere.
yeah, and
Wait,
it's good.
We were supposed to grab a what?
A snack.
Snack.
A snack. So he's like, we're gonna get a
Snack.
snack. We're just gonna get a snack. This is Kyla's favorite story.
Maybe Kyla should tell it.
No, go ahead. Go
Do you
ahead.
want to tell him it?
No.
So, I hope I know the punchline. But anyways, so we're walking and we can't figure out where to go because some people have this idea of grab and go. And my dad is sitting there and he grabs everybody. He's like, come sit down. We're gonna have a snack. We're gonna have a snack. And so we sit in this restaurant. And it's beautiful.
It's
but-
outdoors.
It's
Outdoor.
outdoor, but they're like setting up the tables for us. It seemed like we were like the first people there all day.
Yeah.
So they got really excited. So we're sitting there. Everybody's pissed off because nobody wants to be there. And he tells me, "You're gonna sit here. We're gonna have a snack." And he orders like 6 pizzas.
And salad.
Yeah.
And
No,
everything.
the best part is that everybody's like a little bit upset at dinner because we're supposed to just grab and go, like hurry up and get across town. And again, he's like ordering all these pizzas, and I don't know, somebody said like, why did you think that we could just like sit down during this time? And he's like, just a taste. I just want to taste.
You gotta taste it.
Just a taste.
So now we always say that when we
But you
go-
forgot when we were in the Vatican, I went to the cafeteria to
Yeah,
have
that's
pizza.
gonna be a pizza. I don't think it was the same day.
No, they're the same
Now
thing.
there's the same
No,
thing.
we
I
had.
went in the Vatican.
I know we had to go from one point to the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
My head was pounded. I said, I gotta go.
He couldn't look at anyone.
I'm going to eat a pizza in the cafeteria in the Vatican. And I went to have a pizza.
Was that before or after the mozzarella?
He
prosciutto
he
was better.
skipped the what's the Sistine
Sistine Chapel. You
Skip
guys
it.
can look for me. I'm gonna go get
No,
pizza.
he
No,
went
he
to
went.
Sistine
I
Chapel.
went.
But he was just overwhelmed with all that stuff. His brain couldn't take it anymore.
How much artwork can you see in one day? Are you kidding me?
No, that's one of my favorites. So now every time we order a lot of food, we just say, hey, it's just a snack.
Just a
Yeah,
snack.
snack.
But
Taste,
the really
taste,
was,
the taste.
there really was, he was mad at me because I like wanted to get like a gelato or
And
something
go.
and go.
And he did it in
And he
spite.
just did it to spite me.
Get
And-
out of here. I wanted to eat. It was
And
fun
that's
to
why he
eat.
kept saying,
It
it's
was,
a snack.
it was 3 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was 3 o'clock. We didn't eat yet.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That was
goodness.
funny.
Anyway, it should have, I mean, I didn't think it was funny at the time.
I really enjoyed that pizza. I gotta tell you.
Oh,
That was like top
I guess
10 in
I have
Rome.
to say, laughter is the best medicine for any man.
Yeah,
That was top 10 in
Period.
Rome. That was good.
Do you want to talk about the prosciutto or no?
Oh.
Well, this goes into obsession with food. So
Well,
it
it's
is
the same,
Wow, what's
same
the-
same
vacation.
vacation. Go ahead. We're
Right.
talking about his obsession
No,
with food.
yeah, same. So in Rome, we had got an Airbnb. Where my parents were sleeping in the Airbnb, it was like a loft area because it's not too big. It's like the
So
same
we were
size.
sleeping above.
Above everybody.
We're
But it's all
like all
open
of us
air. It was
there
like
on
all
the
open air. There wasn't any
couches
like
below.
wasn't any like separate rooms.
And Grandma, Luch, and Andre were in the other room, and
Yeah.
you guys were under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was all open.
Yeah, but
so
so we're
He was pissed off about that too, that he had to go sleep
Yeah,
upstairs.
you didn't like that.
but we were. It's like bedtime. We're all going to sleep, and like it's just like as we're winding down, and just out of nowhere, he goes, "Oh, the prosciutto was like butter."
So,
It was, I mean, it really was like butter.
but
I mean,
wait,
that
where
was-
did he eat the prosciutto that day?
Tony and Nick's. Tony
Yeah,
No,
Dino
Dino.
and Tony.
Yeah.
Dino and
Prosciutto was
So
like
Tony.
butter.
much that
Yeah.
day.
Dino
We
and
drank
Tony.
so much, and we were.
But that
I was
prosciutto
so
was so
hungover.
good.
And we had to go to Florence the next day, right? That was the day.
I think so.
Everybody was hungover. I had to be because that guy kept pouring wine,
We went to
pouring wine,
Naples.
pouring wine.
Oh, we went to Naples.
We didn't go to Florence that trip.
Oh, Naples. That's what it was. The Naples trip, and I was.
Oh
so
my god.
hungover. I wanted to kill myself. It
Uh,
was so bad. Oh, sorry.
Alright.
I wanted to smash my head against the wall.
Alright, so we'll finish with that. I like, see, these trips were good that we go on because we always
Ah,
pull
of course.
stories from. So if you, yeah, vacation's great.
Especially when mom and dad pay.
That's the best vacation.
Alright, so we're gonna close this out. Always reach out to us, guys. I love when you guys share our stuff. You shout us out. You could DM us if you guys have any questions for the show. I promise you, same day delivery. They will get on the podcast. You can reach us at on Instagram is the best part. Sal-E-Boy's Pod. Find us on Instagram that way, and then yeah, shoot us a text
And then
or
are
a
they supposed to
DM.
like and subscribe?
Yeah, so like, subscribe, and then Sunday Conversations is the only consistent podcast you're going to get every single week. You might get random ones throughout the week, like Andrea's Angle and Mike's Mike, but you know Sundays you're going to get it. So if you guys want to turn on your notifications for the podcast, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, you will get your podcast, and it'll give you a little alert so you know it's there, and then you guys can listen to it on your ride to work Monday morning, or if
Drink
you
a
want to have a
little
drink
vino.
on Sunday night and listen to us. Wherever you guys listen to your podcast, you can find us. So thank you guys for listening. Great show today.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Salute, buonasera, buonanotte, buonanotte.
Buonanotte, yeah.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.
So you